So this video is, are you selling your house? Have some sense. So what I mean by that is think about the buyer's experience when they're visiting your home as far as their senses. What do they see? What do they hear? What do things feel like? What do they smell like? We're not going to discuss taste because if a buyer's tasting your house, there's a whole nother set of issues there. So as far as what they see, the first thing obviously is it needs to be clean. And clean means not just dusting and having someone clean the house, but it means things like having your rugs shampooed, maybe having your windows washed. It also may include actual exterior things like power washing decks and patios, maybe even siding. So when you're thinking about having your house cleaned, try to think of a sort of bigger picture clean than just having the house cleaner come for a few hours and do the regular cleaning. You also want it to be tidy. Now, it's hard. The business of living is generally not tidy unless you're a super minimalist. But keep in mind that most people are looking for a sort of HDTV look. That does not include a lot of personal photographs, a lot of baubles or tchotchkes sitting around. So you want to reduce the things that are out, particularly on horizontal surfaces. And when you put it in the closet or you put it in the attic or the basement, do your best not to just hurl it in there, because when people look at those spaces, if things are all jumbled, again, it seems messy, but it also may indicate that there's not enough storage space. Another really important thing to think about is improvements or repairs that the house may need. Now, obviously, you do have to be cognizant of the return on those investments. It doesn't do you any good to spend a ton of money redoing a bathroom that you're going to get half of the money back for on the sale side. So I'm talking about things like caulking tubs and touching up paint and repairing or replacing a piece of broken glass in one of the windows. So you definitely also want to consider landscaping as an improvement. It's one of the biggest bang for your bucks projects you can do and often overlooked. Remember, when people drive up to your house, that's their first impression. And if you spend a little bit of money on landscaping, whether that means just mowing the grass, making sure there's no dead limbs on trees, trimming the bushes, or beyond that, like planting flowers, or maybe if it's not planting season, just putting some things along your walkway and on maybe your front porch or up your steps, things in pots. Anything you can do to your landscaping that may improve that first impression is something you want to be thinking about. So then there is the sense of hearing. So what do people hear when they're in your house? What I'm really talking about here is, no pun intended, is sounds that when people play music or put the TV on, I always feel like they're trying to cover up some other sound. Maybe there's an HVAC system or fan that rattles and is really noisy. Very often it's because there is highway noise, and it's like a bait and switch. And even if it's not, it appears that way. So my recommendation would be don't play music, don't put TV on, don't have background music. Just let people be in the house and hear whatever there is to hear. So then we have feel. Now, that may sound weird. You don't want people feeling your house. But what I'm talking about there is a couple of things. One is, particularly in the kitchen, sticky drawers or pulls on cabinets or counters. You want to make sure to wipe everything down and you don't want anything sticky. The other place where feel comes into play can be things like railings or steps that feel loose and unsafe. So think about that. The last sense I'm going to address, because again, we have discarded taste, is smell. And smell is unfortunately not paid attention to often enough. So there's a few things about smells. Let's start with pets. If you have pets, and I do, I have 2 dogs, I love them, but they can be smelly. So your rugs, any rugs you have should be shampooed, and any dog food or pet food that sits out should be removed. And then any pet beds or crates that have that smell, see if you can either clean them or put them elsewhere, because you don't want the house to smell like pets. Beyond pet smells, there are often cooking smells in a house. Now, obviously, if you're living there, you still need to eat. But try to be aware and maybe not cook fish 20 minutes before an appointment, if at all possible. So the next thing is those plugins that have smells. So similar to trying to cover up sounds that a buyer might not like by using music or TV, please don't burn candles or use incense or those plugins, because not only can they be a real turn off to buyers on their own, but again, they indicate that there's some other smell that you're trying to cover up. So your house should smell like nothing. It should just be clean. If you can open the windows depending on the season, or even open them prior to the showing if it is unseasonably warm or cold, think about that. The last area for smell that I would like to address is the bathroom. Now, when someone has recently taken a shower right before a showing, it is never a good thing. The shower, the whole bathroom is steamy and damp, and the towels and the bath mats smell like wet towel. Not a good thing. So again, to the best of your ability as far as your planning goes, try not to take a shower too close to the time when you have a showing. Now, when it comes to other smells that one might find in bathrooms, I'm going to leave you to decide how to deal with that. So that is sort of a quick summary of thinking about the senses that a buyer is going to use when touring your home, and how to put yourself in their position and maybe reduce the likelihood of offending their sight, smell, hearing, or feeling.